cracking little Maico project here. So anyone who knows much about Maicos knows that sometimes, because they're a small factory, engine and VIN numbers don't match up really. So I bought this as a 250 AW, which was a 76, and it was supposed to have a non-matching engine. Now, in theory, it doesn't. So the engine number starts 323, okay? And the frame number starts 326. So to me, that puts the frame as a 1976 250 frame and the engine as a 1976, or could be 75.5, so 75 and a half, 400 engine. The frame, I think, has had the frame loop cut off at the back, which is a bit disappointing. And the engine is seized. So I'll be honest, we had a guy who was interested in the bike and said that he wanted to know what the problem with the engine was. So a couple of weeks back, I took the head off the bike with a bit of WD-40 and a couple of rubber mallets. I managed to get the engine freed up. That being said, it didn't, so the piston didn't move up and down completely freely, and that is because there's some seizing of the big end bearing, possibly the main bearings too, but also I believe that the chain, so it's a primary drive chain in here, I believe that may be seized also. So I mean, the bike needs an engine rebuild, it does, but all the parts are available, and these bikes are super cool when they are done. Now, because so going back, 1976 frame and 1976 engine, I believe that Maico often mismatched frames and engines. If they were building a 400 and they didn't have a 400 frame, they'd put a 250 frame on the bench, which was essentially the same frame anyway, and then stick the 400 motor in. This was a regular thing that happened. So now, because the frame has had the rear loop cut off, I actually have a 1977 400 AW frame here, which, although it needs powder coat and everything like that, it's available to go with the bike. I would want an extra 150 quid for that frame, if that was something you wanted, or you know, you can take the bike as it is with the rear loop cut off. So if we have a look over the bike, like I say, the engine's seized. Someone has tried to put a boost bottle or a plenum chamber on the inlet manifold. To my knowledge, these bikes would have never had that at all, and so I'd suggest a new inlet manifold. The air boot rubber is perished. It's going to need a new air box. They've been running some kind of dodgy air filter, which is completely perished anyway. Frame in general looks to be in reasonable nick. The forks, as you can see, the fork tubes are completely rusted. But I do have another set of fork tubes. There is pitting at the top. The bottoms are a little bit tarnished, but they probably benefit from rehard chroming. And there's a full new set of lowers as well. So there's essentially the outers of the forks there. Like I say, get these rehard chromed, or get a new set. Wheels, so the rear rim, I mean, yeah, it's been battered with stones, but she's straight, and the rear hub is good. The rear brake plates on these often get damaged because it's quite thin aluminium that these are made from. That's fine. Original shocks, but the shock shafts will have gone, so I'd suggest replacing those with a more modern set of shocks. Swing arm looks good. Original pegs and brake lever. Gorgeous tank. These tanks, when these bikes are built with those coffin tanks, aluminium coffin tanks, they look absolutely stunning. I think one of the most beautiful bikes, one of the most beautiful motocross bikes I think that you can do. The front rim is straight. Like I say, they need tidying up, rims taking off, polishing up. Hubs are in good nick, both front and back. Brake plates are all fine. Exhaust, I'd probably suggest getting a new exhaust. It's going to need a silencer, it's going to need plastics, which all of these bikes do. The biggest bonus with this one is it comes with a seat cover. So what's up for sale with this bike is the bike as you see it, the fork outers, so the lowers and the uppers, and the seat cover. And then there's also available for an extra 150 quid is this 1977 frame, which that motor will go in perfectly. The motor mounts are all exactly the same. It's the same foot peg mounts. It's the same rear brake mount. Like I say, it's the same frame to all intents and purposes. So yeah, project, definitely. Nice project, yes. Will it be a great bike when it's done? If you do it right, it absolutely will. And will it be worth a lot of money when it's done? Absolutely. Will it be a super mega bike to ride? Yes, absolutely. These Maicos go like stink. They're amazing bikes. They won so many championships back in the day, and they're still capable of doing that in the classic racing nowadays. So this would be a superb thing to do.